So it seems like the Xbox fans can't catch a break. Last night, Phil Spencer was trending on Twitter. I looked into it, and there was basically just criticism of loads of angry fans. And it feels that at the moment, the pressure on the shoulder of Phil Spencer are just mounting. The reason why he was trending was, on one hand, because people are getting increasingly upset that there are not enough games for generations, right? Even going one console generation back, the Xbox One, it feels like there were almost no big, heavy AAA, quadruple-A exclusive titles in that whole generation. Now we are way into the Xbox Series generation. And again, it seems like there are not enough games to go around. And on top of all that, just yesterday, news broke. It's a rumor at this point, so take it with a grain of salt. But that Fable 4, you may remember, we even already got like a cinematic trailer for Fable 4. Okay, we never seen gameplay, as far as I'm aware, but people were hyped. People were excited. Now it seems like that Fable 4 has been cancelled internally to move it over to the Unreal Engine. Okay, so they're basically starting the game from scratch. They're not canceling it as such, but the leak says that the current build of Fable was deemed unplayable by most of the team. So they're basically starting from scratch in Unreal, and the old Forza Tech engine version of the game will never see the light of day. Obviously, this new version of Fable 4 in Unreal is still in very, very early development, and the current release target window is Q4 of 2024. But let me be honest with you, I think that's very, very optimistic. I don't think that's going to happen. So there's another big AAA title that people are excited about that will now take, it might potentially be delayed into the next Xbox generation. And on top of all that, the situation with the FTC is getting worse and worse. If you don't know what that is about, basically, Microsoft and Xbox are trying to purchase Activision Blizzard, and the FTC is saying, hey, hold on, can we really put this merger through? Because it might put Sony and PlayStation into a disadvantageous situation, in an unfair competitive situation. So for a while now, Microsoft and Xbox have tried to make a point about that it would definitely not put them into a situation of being in a monopoly, right? Where they have so much of the market, they own Call of Duty, they own all this franchise. So they try to downplay their brands. They try to downplay the assets that they have. And as part of that, there's all kinds of nasty information coming out about Microsoft and about the Xbox that we didn't know about before. So as this tweet kind of summarizes quite nicely, the good thing about the FTC filing is that Xbox and Phil Spencer's lies are exposed. Now you understand why Xbox doesn't officially report hardware or software sales numbers. They're getting dog-walked by the competition. Microsoft says in 2021 that PlayStation sold more than 2 times the consoles versus the Xbox in a new FTC filing. So again, right, they're trying to they're like, no, we're not even selling consoles. Nobody's buying our hardware. Nintendo sold over 3x the consoles versus Xbox. Microsoft also says PlayStation has the same number of exclusives as Xbox and Nintendo combined. And here's some sales figures that I could find that kind of underline what I just said. So you can see Switch sold almost 1,872,000 units worldwide. PS5 sold 715,000 units worldwide, while the Xbox Series X and S only sold 481,000 units worldwide. Now, these are not official numbers, so please take them with a grain of salt, but I think there's also kind of an online sentiment that you can sense on Twitter, on social media, where nobody really wants the Xbox Series. It's a strange thing. I'm sure you all seen this video where a little boy is unboxing his PlayStation. But it's Xbox. But it's an Xbox Series thing. And he's not happy, okay? He's not pleased with his gift. So it ruined Christmas. Very, very angry. And you see quite a bit of that, right? People are not happy with receiving Xboxes. Everybody wants the PlayStation. And I did a video about this a few weeks ago where I read out, loads of angry comments of people just saying, there are not enough games. The Xbox just has not enough games. And the pressure on Phil Spencer is mounting. And it's a continuation under all these threads that we just looked at, under these tweets, where people are like, oh, well, good for PlayStation. We'll fight back this year. I've been hearing that since 2013. It's happening again. Uncle Phil. Of course, these are just memes. This is just like childish console war stuff. But beyond all that, it seems to be that there is this sentiment out there that the Xbox just cannot catch up to the popularity or the amount of AAA, quadruple-A exclusive games that the PlayStation can offer. So more and more people are kind of pointing their finger at Phil Spencer. They are saying, like this guy, what was your favorite generation on the Xbox as a badass Xbox fan? Well, the one before Phil Spencer took charge. Or the biggest joke in gaming, Phil Spencer. Again, these are just memes, but I think you can read some kind of trends and directions of how fans are feeling from these kinds of messages, even they are just jokes. So what is Phil Spencer doing wrong, right? He pumped so much money into all these studios, into all these titles. why are we not getting the games? Why are there not the results that people like to see? I like Phil Spencer. I think he's a really nice, charismatic guy. He comes across lovely and friendly. And to be honest with you, maybe that is actually part of the problem to an extent. Maybe Phil Spencer is too nice. Maybe he's too forgiving, too patient. When he visits studios, he plays their demos. He's like, yeah, this is great, guys. You're all doing a great job. Taps everyone on the shoulder, shakes a few hands. You guys are amazing. Yeah, we can push the release another month, another half a year. We can do all that. And while I'm absolutely in favor of that, because in a way that avoids crunch and that avoids horrible conditions in all these game developer studios where people have to work all night and have these horrible crunch times before the game actually comes out, it possibly compromises on the results. If you're too nice in this industry and you're not dropping the hammer every now and then, it seems like you won't get the amount of games and the amount of products that is needed to sustain a competitor to PlayStation. Being a nice guy and being a gamer and treating people fair and nice doesn't give you the results that you need. I think that is actually a key reason of what's going on here. And I can already see the comments where people are like, yeah, but listen, dude, they just announced that they're going to have 3 big exclusives all coming from Bethesda and they will be all exclusive to Xbox. It's like, yeah, Starfield, The Elder Scrolls 6. There's a third game. They said there will be a third game that will be exclusive on Xbox, so it could be Redfall, maybe the new Indiana Jones, maybe something like Fallout 5, again, coming from Bethesda. And that's all nice, but the question is, when do we get those games? I mean, okay, sure, Starfield is supposed to come out this year. At some point. But when can we expect the Elder Scrolls 6? When can we expect an Indiana Jones game? It just seems like the interim time between these releases is just not tight enough. And obviously people are having strong arguments about that online as well, where they're comparing the exclusive titles and who has how many. And, you know, someone says quite rightly, PlayStation has Stellar Blade, Lost Soul Aside, Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Horizon Burning Lands, the VR launch, right? They're going to launch a new VR headset coming very soon. Fractions, all in 2023 and non-timed exclusives, but enjoy Redfall. Stalker 2 is being brought up. We just got a new trailer. I don't know if you guys saw that. It looks absolutely amazing, but that will also not be a full Xbox exclusive title, okay? It has been confirmed that the upcoming Stalker 2 will be an Xbox console exclusive for 3 months when it is released. So as much as I personally like Phil Spencer as a person, I think he's probably a nice guy. He's the kind of guy you go out with, have a beer and discuss video games. And he's the guy who started the initiative for Gamepass, which in my opinion still, I mean, I don't know anyone who subscribed to Gamepass, but it is still a great idea in itself. And if it would be backed with actual good games, like loads of them, then it would be an incredible service. So I'm in favor of Game Pass and I appreciate that he brings these projects on the road. But how long will Phil Spencer be able to sustain his role amongst all this pressure? Okay, at this point, the voices that say, listen, for so many generations, not enough has happened on these platforms in terms of games, in terms of content, in terms of pushing the platform, bringing it up to level with PlayStation. We need to look at the role of Phil Spencer in all this. He's a nice guy, but is he the right man to push Xbox to the next level? What do you guys think? Do you think the voices of the fans will get so loud that ultimately they will remove Phil Spencer from the leading position of Xbox, put someone else in place, change the tone, make it a bit of a harsher environment to push out more games? Or do you think, no, Xbox is Phil Spencer, okay? He is the brand at this point. You can't just remove him. He will be in place no matter what. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. To me, it very much feels like the pressure is mounting to a point where I think, give it another year, maybe give it another 2 years. But if it continues like that, and the only few real big AAA, quadruple A exclusives that we will see are like Starfield, which presumably, to be honest with you, I'm not entirely optimistic about, that it's going to come out bug-free and live up to the expectations, which are enormous at this point. It's basically permanently trending on Twitter. I don't know. I hope the game will be amazing, but it's Bethesda and all that, lots of caveats there. So unless something drastically changes at Xbox within the next 2 years, I can see Phil Spencer retiring earlier and someone else taking over the reins. But that's just my opinion. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, guys. If you want to discuss this topic amongst many other topics, we have set up a Discord server for this community. The link is down in the description. It's completely free to join. I would hope to see you there. Obviously, I'm hanging out there. Loads of other people are hanging out. So join the Discord server, subscribe to the channel for more, leave a like on your way out, and I would appreciate to see you in another one. Take care of yourselves. I'm out. Bye.